Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a weekend. How you doing, baby?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Fantastic as well. We got a lot of special things going on today. Can't wait to get to that. But first, let's talk about this. We've got our second scoop today, and I found some extra special stories for you. So
all right.
You are lucky you are listening to this program because you're going to hear some awesome stuff. Hey, first thing in the morning when you wake up, might want to have some breakfast, might want to check the weather, might want to do those two things together, and a kid from college has designed a toaster to burn the forecast into your toast.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Toaster is connected to the internet, downloads info on the weather, and then changes the burn pattern on the toast depending on what the forecast is. So it could have rain or sun or clouds or snow, and then you eat the toast. So
I was going to say the temperature and the humidity, too.
It should, but I don't think it does. It's just got all those things. Loser.
Yeah. We're going to one-up him.
Lego
Let's
my ego.
Let's invent our new toaster.
Ours going to be the weather waffle iron. What's the weather going to be?
Actually, you know what?
What?
They're always waffling on the weather anyway. That would actually be very clever because it could always be just random. It wouldn't even have to be the true weather.
You know, it could actually just have one forecast because at least it would be right once in a while. So there you go. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Weekend Edition.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Well, first of all, it's the weekend, and we're going to talk about both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, August the 13th, International Left-Handers Day. So for those of you lefties out there, today's your day. Middle Child Day. I'm a middle child, and I was born left-handed. I do most things right-handed now, so I don't know what I am. Just weird. It's National Bowling Day. As a matter of fact, I can bowl right-handed and left-handed. You'll never guess what my top score is. It's like 7. It's not good. It's not. It's better than 7. I've broken 100. I've got like 150.
With the bumpers.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
I'm not a good. I was even in league. It's not good. National Garage Sale Day as well. Sunday is Chef Appreciation Day, International Rose Day, National Navajo Code Talkers Day, and VJ Day. So there you go. All of those things.
Navajo Code?
Yeah,
Talker?
Navajo Code Talkers. There were Navajo Indians that had a special code, and they actually used that during wartime, like the American soldiers did. And so people that knew that Navajo code were able to break the code. So that was, yeah. See, now you know. Today's the day they celebrate that. And other stuff. So get out there and celebrate this weekend. We appreciate you joining us.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when the messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A doctor removed 200 nails from a man's stomach. Ugh.
Oh.
Ethiopian doctors have removed more than 200 nails that were swallowed by a mentally ill patient after the man complained of tummy pains.
Yeah, I'm sure he was complaining of tummy pains.
Medics spent more than an hour extracting 26 ounces of items from the man's stomach. His name is Gazahenge Debaz, something like that. I don't know. Let's just call him Chuck. They did a stomach x-ray, revealed that he had a bunch of stuff crammed in there, assorted pieces of metal. Metallic objects removed from the patient included 222 rusty nails, as well as an assortment of keys and coins. It is believed the man ate these items during his 20 years as a mental patient. So 20 years, 222 rusty nails, an assortment of keys and coins. Yuck. That is just yuck. I wonder
where he was finding all these nails.
I don't know.
They should take better care of that mental institution.
Yeah.
People in a mental institution shouldn't have access to rusty nails.
Readily
available.
They probably were not rusty when they went in. They were probably nice, shiny.
But even still, they shouldn't have access to nails, should they?
I don't know. Maybe he just found a bag of nails sitting somewhere and eating them like popcorn. I have no clue. What you got over there, Chuck? I'm sorry. Gezahenge is, I think, how you say his first name. So anyway, he was chomping down on that. And apparently, the janitor walked by and he ate all of his keys. I don't know. A lot of stuff. All I know is, it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. After a short chase, Officer Joseph Fonteno of Redondo Beach, California, charged the driver of a white Mazda with a DUI. The car had been driving down the Pacific Coast Highway with the upper half of a traffic light pole laying on the hood.
Oh.
Yeah. Officer said to the drunk driver, you have a pole on the hood of your car? And guess what the drunk driver said back?
What?
Came with the car when I bought it.
I don't think so.
He's a quick thinking drunk
Yeah,
anyway.
he is. Good for him.
Yeah, I was there when I bought this car. No, it was not, by the way. They found out place just up the road where he found that. So he got a DUI. Driving under the influence is never funny. The reason that we're laughing is because the guy was an idiot, and he's learned his lesson. Do not drink and drive. It's a very bad idea all the time. And if you need help, there are a lot of places out there that would love to help you out. Anyway, kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Is it a good idea to get body piercings? I don't really have the body for that kind of thing.
Well, like where?
Like a belly button thing or a tongue ring or any of that stuff. Anyway, it's been very, very popular recently, but most people don't take into consideration the additional dangers they put themselves into when they have these things. A woman's piercing recently became a very scary moment of duh. While vacationing in Greece, 26-year-old Becky Nyang had to be hospitalized because she was struck by lightning.
Oh, my gosh.
She ended up with severe blisters and burns on her mouth, her tongue, and her face. Doctors said the lightning probably would have missed her, other than the fact she had a giant tongue stud. So that was a big chunk of metal sticking out of her head.
Oh, my gosh. That's something
So
I've
she got
never even
struck
thought
in
about
the
before.
face with a bolt of lightning. So,
I've never even thought of that before.
well, coming up, we're going to talk about the equally interesting new thing that people are doing called tattoos. Okay, that's not new, but we do have that in our Scoop of the Day, and that is on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Just a bit ago, we had a story about a lady that got struck by lightning in the face because she had a tongue stud.
In the face.
In the face. So now we're going to talk about tattoos. So we go from body piercing to tattoos in our Scoop of the Day. If you get a tattoo, be prepared for this little-known side effect. The skin in that area will become less sensitive to touch, according to a new scientist report. Small studies suggest that tattooing process disrupts the nerve signals to the skin. So if you have a tattoo, did you know that you feel less in that area? I've never noticed that. Have you?
I've not noticed.
We're going to have to do a little experimenting later tonight.
I've got a huge area that you can test on.
I
so,
know.
yeah.
I'm going to do that later. She's got tattoos all over the place. My wife, although she sounds sweet, innocent, and cuddly, she's...
I don't think anybody has ever used those words to
she's got
describe me.
tattoos like a biker, and she swears like a sailor. She even smokes a stogie from time to time. Oh, she ain't no angel. Just want to tell you. Hey, the grizzly bears in and around Yellowstone National Park are no longer in federal protection. For the longest time, they were what they referred to as endangered, so you couldn't, like if you did something to a grizzly bear there, you would get in a lot of trouble because they were endangered. The government decided that, okay, when we started this, there were 136 grizzlies. Now, that was back in 1975, by the way.
Oh, geez.
Now there's over 500 of them. So they're
Okay.
like, you know what? Maybe we should encourage people to start thinning the herd. 'Cause they're causing some problems out there. Hey, a new study finds poor posture from texting is becoming quite an epidemic. So kids, quit doing that. Great news for kids. Doctors are taking a stand on the benefits of recess. And not just for the exercise. It's just as important to your development as class time for children. The American Academy of Pediatrics is officially advocating a scheduled break during the school day. A pediatrician with the AAP says children need to have downtime between complex cognitive challenges. They tend to be less able to process information the longer they are held to a task. So they're saying let the kids get out and have some fun. We need to do that here once in a while, too.
I agree.
Should we just take a
We should have
recess right now?
We
Just
should
go?
have a recess
Right in the middle of this
every
break,
day.
just take off and split? No? Okay, we'll
Probably
finish
not.
up. We'll finish our scoop of the day, then we'll take a recess before we get to our second scoop today. Research suggests Americans waste more food than they realize. More than $161 billion worth of food every year in America alone is wasted. It's a lot of food. For many moms, social media is both a blessing and a curse. In a survey of 7,000 U.S. mothers, 42% said they sometimes suffer from Pinterest stress. That's a thing. They worry that they're not as crafty or as creative as other mothers. So I think my wife over here...
I don't worry about
No, because
that.
you're pretty crafty. You're the one that everybody else is
I
worried
prefer
about.
creative.
Yeah.
Crafty makes it sound like I'm doing something wrong.
But usually you are. Pretty crafty over there. No, I love the pictures, the Nailed It pictures. If you want a good belly laugh, just go on and look at the Nailed It pictures. I'll actually throw a link on our Facebook page. I just have to now. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And I'll put some examples of some of the Nailed It, where people come up with the best plan. They saw it on Pinterest, they're like, I could do that. And then they realize, no, I can't. And our final story for our scoop of the day. A 58-year-old man in China woke up with amnesia. Family members were in shock after the corporate executive couldn't remember conversations that he had just minutes before. He kept repeating questions like, where am I going today? And what do I do? Relatives called doctors who said the man suffered from stress-induced amnesia and a bout of strenuous constipation. Oh, wait a minute. Are those two things connected? Because if they are, I better start go get some X-Lax or something. I don't know. I'm already having trouble remembering things. I don't need that too. Maybe he just didn't remember to use the bathroom. You think that could be it?
Are you constipated?
No. Not at
Why'd
all.
you say if that's a side effect, I need to go get some X-Lax?
Because I'm losing my mind the way it
It's
is.
like you told our entire listening audience that you're constipated.
No, I'm not. I'm good to go.
You need to take care of that before you don't know who you are.
I know. I'm definitely good to go in that department. Maybe a little too much. But my concern is, my concern is this man, I didn't know that amnesia and constipation were attached to each other. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know. Maybe it was just his case. You know what? We're going to take that recess we talked about earlier. We'll be back with your second scoop in a bit. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice, too, at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the second scoop on a weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show. Researchers have determined the exact number of hours that you can be sedentary during the day, before you increase your risk of cardiac problems. The magic number is
10.
How'd you know that?
Because we've talked about
Have we
this.
really? See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm losing my mind.
Maybe you need to go use the restroom.
Yeah, apparently I do. Speaking of that leads right into our next story. Bernie Sanders says the one big advantage of being out of the presidential race is I no longer have to tell Secret Service when I have to go to the bathroom.
And he gets to enjoy his new $600,000 beach home.
I thought that was interesting. That was in the news the other day. I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute. He just bought a beach home. Isn't he a socialist that doesn't believe in that kind of stuff?
Right.
It's kinda
Interesting.
Hey, according to a study, 50% of people have at least 50% of their hair turn gray by the age of 50. So that's the new 50-50-50 rule. 50% of people have at least 50% of their hair turn gray by the age 50.
I think I'm above average. I bet if I didn't color mine.
You should just let it grow out for a bit.
No
Let's see.
way.
How much of my hair is gray right now?
A lot.
It's starting to get there. I noticed the other day, because I got a bit of a belly going here, and I've got a goatee that's turning gray. And the other day I hadn't shaved, so I was getting a little bit of stubble. I kind of looked a little bit like Santa Claus on his summer vacation. I was like, wow, I should probably get that under control. starting to look a little too much Santa-like. An Oxford study found that if you use a lot of flowery language to describe the taste or the smell of something, people actually think that it tastes or smells better. So they're saying if you describe it in a way that sounds better, people actually, their brain tells them that it is better. So I don't know exactly where to go with that story other than I have a lot of things I can't say on the radio, but I'm going to just move on. Government studies suggest a lot of teenage girls are clueless about their chances of getting pregnant. A survey of thousands of teenage mothers who had unintended pregnancies, about a third who didn't use birth control said the reason they didn't is because they didn't think they could get pregnant.
Why would they?
Why they thought that is not clear. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention survey did not ask them to explain. Other researchers now have talked to teen moms who believe they couldn't get pregnant the first time they had sex.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't think they could get pregnant at that time of the month, or they thought that maybe they were sterile. So those were three of the answers that they had given.
Oh my gosh.
So there you go. Maybe they should pay a little more attention.
And parents,
health classes.
educate your kids. Don't leave it up to the schools. It's not their job.
Yeah,
educate your children.
And we have a daughter that's a teenager.
Not just your girls. Educate your boys.
Yeah. We have that discussion with our son. When we have the discussion with our daughter, she loves talking about this stuff. No, she hates it. I was like, can we record a video and put it online? She's like, get away from me. Recent report shows about half of American 17-year-olds cannot identify the books and historic events that have always been cultural just touchstones. 48% did not know what 1984 was about, the movie or the book 1984.
Yeah.
49% did not know that Joseph McCarthy was crusading against communism. Only 43% knew at what time frame the Civil War happened. They could fit it at least between 1850 and 1900. Only 43%. Spokesperson said it shows that schools are concentrating so much on teaching math and reading skills that kids are not learning basic history, literature, and humanities required to maintain a common culture. So they're saying those things are important too. Now, we've not talked a whole lot around here about the Olympics, but there was a big story from last weekend. An NBC commentator was criticized for calling the coach and the husband of a Hungarian swimmer the guy responsible for her turnaround at the Rio Olympics last week. He said, it is impossible to tell her story without crediting him. But there were a bunch of online critics suggesting that his comments on the telecast were sexist. And later he said, with live TV, there are oftentimes you look back and wish you had said things differently. So I didn't hear what he had to say, other than he was saying, he's responsible for her turnaround. He's the coach.
Me either, but I did hear.
Okay.
I did hear that a judo Olympian was mugged and beaten up.
What?
In Rio. Yeah, he's the judo guy. You'd think he could have taken care of that situation.
I saw a video of there was just a person sitting in their hotel in Rio videotaping out the window of all the muggings that were happening out their window.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the heck is going on? Did you see the swimming pools, by the way? There was one that was a beautiful, pristine blue pool, and right next to it was a pea green pool.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's a chemical imbalance, or no, it's just algae. It's fine. You should dive in there. I would swim like crazy thinking, I want to get out of this water. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think we're quite done with the Olympics yet, so I'm sure we'll have more stories from there. I have no clue. I don't pay attention. They could have been done 3 days ago.
I have no idea.
A tractor trailer missed a corner at the bottom of a hill, sliced through 4 lanes of traffic, and smashed into the front of Idaho State Police headquarters. Miraculously, nobody was hurt by this accident. A survey shows that 1 in 4 Americans, that's 70 million people, are not getting enough sleep, Heidi. I wonder if maybe the driver of that tractor trailer was one of those people.
Probably.
All right. It's going to do it for your second scoop. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Astronaut John W. Young smuggled a corned beef sandwich on board a 5-hour Gemini 3 flight back in 1965. Did you know that? Consumed by mission mate Virgil Gus Grissom, the contraband sandwich resulted in a congressional investigation and the first official reprimand of an astronaut.
Why?
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
I'm not sure. He wasn't supposed to take that on board. He brought a corned beef sandwich on, and he fed it to one of the other dudes on the airplane. So, like, hey, Want some corned beef sandwich?
Yeah, what difference does it make?
I have no idea.
Leave him alone.
Fun
Good
fact for
Lord.
you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Since we were talking about the Olympics earlier, tennis was the first Olympic sport to include women. Guess what year that happened?
I have no idea.
1900 in Paris, France. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
After he retired from serving as Tombstone's marshal, Wyatt Earp moved to San Francisco and became a boxing referee.
Really?
Yeah, that's fun stuff. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Robert E. Lee had tiny feet. He wore a size 4.5 shoe.
Huh.
Yeah, my shoe is like 11, so that's like less than half of that's. I found an image online. Now it was a sketch, so it's not like true to scale. But even in the sketch, he had little tiny feet. I had no clue, but he had very big shoes to fill. So it's kind of crazy when you think about that. Mm-hmm. There you go. Thanks for listening to the
Maybe
John.
everybody had little feet back then.
Could have been. You know what? I have no clue. That's very possible.
Because we've all grown and changed. People are bigger now than they used
Yes.
to be. Taller and wider
Yeah.
than they used to be.
Why'd you point at me when you said wider?
I'm just saying they probably had smaller feet, too.
Okay, well, now we know. Couple of fun facts this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time too. You decide when the messages are sent and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. If you're looking for a long, happy marriage and you want the tricky little secret, maybe we can help you here. How do people stay married for 40, 50, 60 years? Turns out they know something the rest of us don't know. Those secrets were revealed. Matthew Boggs and Jason Miller were a couple of bachelors that traveled 12,000 miles around the U.S. to talk to couples for a thing they called Marriage Masters. People who've been married for 4 decades or more. In an appearance on the Today Show, the men who wrote a thing called Project Everlasting shared these secrets for a long and happy marriage. Divorce, never. Murder, often. Translation, commitment is king. What?
What?
Couples-
Murder often?
It says couples who stay married a lifetime enter their marriage with the mindset of divorce is not an option. So when arguments, disagreements, and other issues arise, they learn to work them out. They don't run the other way. The only deal breaker is there's the 3 A's: addiction, adultery, and abuse. So that's the only time you can do that. Why would it say divorce
Murder.
never, murder often?
That's
That's kind of a dumb
know.
headline for that. Moving right along. Another tip says there's no such thing as a perfect marriage, only perfect moments. And it takes
That's
work
true.
to create a great marriage. I would say that.
That's true.
And here's the thing. I think that your imperfections are what make you perfect for me, and my imperfections are what make me perfect for you. Because neither one of us are perfect. I know by listening to this program, you think that we probably have it made, but there are a lot of flaws in our marriage, and I think that kind of helps pull us together. There are things that, both of us. So I always say that, I know you're not perfect, but you're perfect for me. And that's perfect. Moving on. Unpack the gunny sack. Translation: don't be afraid to fight. So they're saying if you're gonna get in an argument, get it over and done with, and then move on. Never stop dating. It's not just the quality of time you spend together; it's the quantity as well. So they're saying have good times together, but go and do that kind of stuff often. Love is a 4-letter word, and so is give. Be selfless. Marriage is not 50-50. It's 60-40. You both give 60. You both take 40. That goes for both of you. Then you have 120% going on there. See? See what I did there?
Okay.
What else is there? The discipline of respect. You can have respect without love, but you cannot have love without respect.
That
so
is true.
respect each other, so then you will also love each other. So some little tips. If you'd like to check out their book, I'll find the title here. Project Everlasting is what it's called. And there's some secrets for a long and happy marriage. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're in business, you need a website. Come on, it's 2016. Do you think this internet thing is not going to catch on? Many business owners that don't have a website think it's just too expensive. Well, now it's not. You can get a website for a few $100s, not thousands of dollars that are charged elsewhere. We can help you set up and design the site and then turn you loose to manage it, or we can help you manage the site for just a tiny bit more. Learn about the special radio offer right now at radiosavings.com. Get an extra $50 off if you sign up this month at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I have this weird thing that happens to me in the bright sun. I'll walk outside if it's really
And you
bright,
sneeze.
and I'll sneeze. And
Our son does,
yeah,
too.
Troy does the same thing. I have no idea why we do that. That's just some weird little thing. I've met some other people that do that. But 97-year-old Gladys Adamson lives in England. She's been blind, been blind for 5 years. She regained her sight after she sneezed.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. She thought she was dreaming when she realized, wait a minute, I can see. She didn't recognize herself when she looked in the mirror for the first time. Her hair, which is now white, was just turning gray the last time she saw it 5 years ago. She's 97, so she just started getting gray hair at 92. Wow. Anyway, she had a little bit of a sneezing attack, and when she was done sneezing, she could see again.
Weird.
So that has something to do with her eyes as well. And for me, when I walk out in the bright sun, I sneeze. I wonder if there's some connection there, something to do with your eyes and sneezing.
I don't know.
That is just bizarre. Anyway.
Gets kicked by a mule, eyes go across,
Falls in a well. Little Vegas vacation quote there from Heidi. We have, by the way, movie quotes land in our household pretty much every day, numerous times a day. So for those of you who listen to this program, if you hear something like that, that's what's going on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you want to be one of the coolest cops in the world, where do you think you need to move? How about Austria?
What?
Yeah, Austria. The police there drive Porsche 911s as patrol cars because they need to be able to catch the people that are speeding. It's a $120,000 sports car, can go up to 177 miles per hour, and it's been a major success, so much so that Austria is planning to get some more of these speedy sports cars. A spokesperson says the preventative effect. There we go. Turned into Woody Woodpecker there.
Yeah, you did. That's what I was thinking.
The preventative effect is excellent. Drivers just needed to see it parked alongside the road, and they'll slam on the brakes. Before, what would happen is people would see their regular patrol car.
And they just speed up.
In their Ferrari, they just put the pedal to the metal, and they'd get past them. And they're like, catch me if you can. Well, now they're going, I'll can.
Get you. Yeah. Wow.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Come up. We've got some resume and cover letter goof-ups that are hilarious, and I thought we could share these this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice, too, at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com. It has been a long time since I've put together a resume or a cover letter for me. Now, I've helped other people do that, and
Yeah.
I've had a chance to see some, but I've not, it's been a long time since I've actually done that. But these are taken from real resumes and cover letters, and they were printed recently in Fortune magazine. This one here, I kind of have to spell because it doesn't make sense if I just read to you. It says, I have learnt, L-U-R-N-T,
Oh, my gosh.
Word Perfect 6.0, computer spelled completely wrong,
Oh,
and
my
spreadsheet programs. They forgot a lot of letters in that. Another one says, am a perfectionist and rarely, if ever, forget details. Received a plague for salesperson of the year. Wholly responsible for 2 failed financial institutions.
Oh.
Why would you put that on there? Reason for leaving last job, maturity leave. I wonder if they meant maternity. Failed bar exam with relatively high grades.
Okay.
It's best for employers that I do not work near people.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's meet so you can ooh and ah over my experience. That is awesome.
Okay.
I was working for my mom until she decided to move. Marital status, single, unmarried, unengaged, uninvolved, no commitments. He just wanted to make sure that you understood. I am single.
I am available.
I am available. I have an excellent track record, although I am not a horse, smiley face. These are actual things that were put on resumes or on cover
my.
letters. That is hilarious. We would probably hire that person.
Probably. You would.
I am loyal to my employer at all costs. Please feel free to respond to my resume on my office voicemail. So he was working somewhere.
Wow.
My goal is to be a meteorologist, but since I possess no training in meteorology, I thought I would try being a stockbroker. I procrastinate, especially when the task is an unpleasant task. Personal interest, donating blood, 14 gallons so far. That's a lot of blood.
Gosh.
And there's a couple other on here, but I'm going to just get this last one. Finished 8th in a class of 10.
I'd probably hire that person. If you're going to put that on your
there's only
resume.
10 in my class. I was in the top 10. We only had 10. All right. Coming up, we got some good news. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap the show up with some good news, and I think this is some good news here. There's a film called The Jesus Film. Have you ever heard of this film?
No.
It's actually a really cool film. It's an evangelical tool, and it's drawn thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of people to Christ over the last decade or so. But it's been translated now into 8 new languages. So there's now 6.5 million more people that can be reached with the gospel in their own language. In addition, the Jesus Film Project spokesperson, Joe Class, said people from all 8 language groups, the new ones, were given a screening of the film in their respective language. He says that the Jesus Film is being used as a catalyst for their church planning efforts. And it's worked out really, really well. And now they just added 8 additional languages. So I don't know how many they're up to now. But that's kind of cool that you can watch it in your own language. Because if you watch it in a different language, it might be a little hard to follow.
I would never trust anybody to translate something for me.
You know,
ever. Because how would you know what they're saying? I keep thinking of the Goonies.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The Goonies.
Remember when he was translating for the maid?
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly what would happen to me. That's my luck. There's no way I would let somebody translate for me.
I'm pretty sure the biblical scholars are not too concerned about that. If they have the right biblical scholars from another language working with them.
How do they know?
Yeah, that's true. We haven't converted many people with this language. I'm not sure what the problem is.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, well, I finally read the book in that language, and let me tell you, we got some issues. All right. I had a fun conversation with a friend of mine. We were getting all punny and funny on Facebook like a week ago. Trying to think of what his joke was. I can't even think of what it was now. But we were utilizing, where one word means more than one thing. Mm-hmm. So like for mine, it was they were all in one accord. And I said, except for Judas, he had to drive there in a Jeep because there was no more room in the Honda. So wow. we were getting funny and punny. I wonder how that kind of stuff would translate in other languages. Probably wouldn't mean anything. Even though you speak the same language, you still didn't laugh. So this one didn't land quite properly. I think now is a good time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Weekend Edition. If you'd like to know more about that story, by the way, you can find it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.